After what I just witnessed tonight, ladies and gentlemen, move over Dan's funeral. Kiefer's comeback is now the greatest example of scramble based strategy under pressure, balls to the wall, back against the corner that I have ever seen in Big Brother history. And you can include global, not even US. It doesn't even have to only be US. This is the best bit of gameplay I've ever seen. Say whatever you want about ED when he was on the block next to Dustin. Everyone knows production played a role in why Dustin went home. Say what you want about Dan's funeral still being better. In my opinion, it wasn't that much better. Frank Udi should have known better his damn self, coach. But welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the critically acclaimed, the Pop the Trunk podcast, now Patreon exclusively sponsored Hall of Fame, Recency Bias Radio, and shout outs to Nehemiah, where no one is safe from criticism. With me, of course, is your humble host, Dave Smith, Pretty Boy Smitty, Protocol Paul, Pearl Game Ultra, Smith Dog Trill, the Rant God, Hotep Thanos, Throne Thanos, Metro Kaiba, the Pro-Black Prodigy, the Shadow Realm Shaman, here to bring balance back to Big Brother Canada, all of the above on that ISAT test, and ACT, you know what it is. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for what I believe is the 22nd Big Brother Canada 9 rant entitled Your Family Bro. Because what we witnessed is that Ty and Jed clearly could discern that from a personal standpoint, they care too much about all of the things Kiefer has done for them. Understand, Kiefer, without his presence in this season, there is no Ty and Jed left to talk about here. So for them to reciprocate that, even if it's only for 1 week, I applaud it, because, ladies and gentlemen, here's the thing. Now that Tera is the new HOH, can't we all come to the agreement that everyone involved that kept Kiefer made the right move? Well, besides Beth, of course, right? Let's keep it real here. With Tera winning this HOH, if they would have gotten rid of Kiefer and kept Tina in that situation, Tina's never going up if Tera's HOH, so that's one person that's never touching the block that week. On top of that, if there's no Kiefer, there's no extra big threat that can beat anybody that looms around for Tera to even consider possibly backdooring, right? Kiefer being there, for all intents and purposes, gives Ty and Jed some cover, and that was the purpose of keeping them, all right? Now, I'm happy that from a storyline standpoint, I feel like if Ty and Jed really wanted to pitch why they deserve to win this season, they couldn't go through with what they would have done to Kiefer this week. It would have been unrecoverable, in my opinion. But by keeping him, now their story is a lot different. Now everything they have claimed to be about, they're still about. Now the same ethics that they valued the most when LT was done bogus, they can still value those things because they kept those things intact when they could have easily relied on that primal instinct of playing like a Kyle or a Rowe or an Austin. They said, no, we're going to be the alliance that was promised. We are going to be the Sunsetters, one of the most dominant alliances ever. And in my opinion, Kiefer, Ty, and Jed are the Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails of Big Brother Canada. If them three are coming for you, there's no way out. Now granted, we had an original trio just like them, known as Sir Anthony Douglas, Adam Pike, and Dane. All right, I'm not trying to act as if we got to compare the alliances now just because they stayed true to theirs here. But at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, it is important for us to give these alliances their roses. Because don't forget, at the beginning of this season, Julie Vu thought it was going to be Ro, Kyle, Ty, Jed, Steamroll, Pretty Boys 2.0. The fact that these men weren't so thirsty to just follow that season, and they wanted to create their own trail. They wanted to blaze their own path. I respect that, and personally, I think this is why the alumni from Big Brother Canada 7 rocks with them, because they're not trying to be Pretty Boys 2.0. They're being their own alliance. So that needs to be addressed as well. The individuality, the uniqueness of this team needs to be spoken about. Now, let's get into all of the mistakes Tina made this week, because it really is. For every miraculous move comes choke gameplay from the other end, okay? If it wouldn't have been possible for Kiefer to pull off incredible gameplay like he did if Tina wasn't so bad in her campaign. It almost felt like Tina felt like Beth controls the vote, which was true. There should be no reason and no incentive for Beth to keep Keith, which is also true. So Tina believes she did not have to really throw Keith under the bus. Now, earlier today, a little bit last night, Tera started to get in Tina's head. She started to really she started to bring out all the worst elements of Tina. And we started to see Tina play a little dirty. Not really, but she started fighting for her survival. That's why I don't really want to call it dirty. It's survival at this point. But it was a little bit too little, too late. And quite frankly, Tera and Tina believe if they just go up to Beth and constantly tell her, you know you're playing the men's game. You know you can't win by keeping Kiefer. That's another guy that beat you. How are you going to justify keeping Kiefer to the jury? This is the turning point right here. Get rid of Kiefer. Tina, Tera, and Beth then tackle the other three, and they could probably pull Breydon their side and be 4 versus 2 versus Ty and Jed. Now, for whatever reason, Beth did not decide to pull the trigger. And I'm very confused here, Beth. Because you have been trying to get Jed and Ty to play to your win conditions this entire time. You have designed this week for you to have the sole power and control over Breydon's vote along with yours. Meaning, if you already know that Tera is a vote in the holster to send Kiefer home, all you have to do is tell Bray, vote with me, he's gone, right? But that's why this all falls on Beth choking more than Tina did. Because Tina expects Beth to not choke. So Tina is coasting like she's done all season. She's just being blue line. You know what I'm saying? But in this scenario, she put all of her eggs on Beth, believing Beth would stay on code. And Beth, surprisingly enough, chokes to be off code in the one vote she needed to be on the most. Because now I'm looking at it. Yeah, Tera's HOH right now. Yeah, Tera's probably going to target someone not named Beth, not named Bray. But I do see a scenario where Beth could possibly be on that block on next Thursday. And here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, with this fake double eviction looming, there's a lot of different paths this game can go down. I'd argue this fake double eviction is going to be the ultimate equalizer for jury management. Because if you get evicted in a dirty way during a fake double, then you win a battle back against the person that was evicted right before you and you come back, your narrative is so different. Technically, you weren't really in sequester. Do people value that as a true eviction if it's a fake double? Right? Like, how do people in the jury house quantify that? Do they look at that still as a second chance, or do they look at it as you've been through the fire, you created a diamond, and you should be rewarded? It's hard to really tell, right? And that's what makes keeping Kiefer in this situation, now if you want to be devil's advocate, you could say, well, this is why they should have got rid of Kiefer. Because now with that fake double, it creates a scenario where if Ty and Jed happen to get evicted because of Tera, they might have to deal with a Kiefer in the battle back, and Kiefer is a yoke artist. Or even worse, what if Jed and Ty have to compete versus each other to come back into the game? Oh man, that would look bad too. But conversely, I do see a lot of paths where, for Ty's game specifically, I don't think Ty's in trouble this week. I really don't. I think for Bray's game, he should prioritize keeping Ty over Jed right now. I believe for Kiefer's game, he definitely prioritizes keeping Ty over Jed right now. Even though Kiefer approached Jed saying he wanted the final 3 with him and Beth, understand Ty and Jed were the ones who pulled Kiefer to the side during the siesta. That's why Beth was so triggered on feeds. Understand, Beth is out here throwing a temper tantrum on feeds. Ty is starting to see how full of crap she is. It's like, damn, you this mad just because during a party, we pulled Kiefer to the side and say, hey man, you're family to us. We're going to keep you. You know, we never really wanted you to go. We just wanted to split up that other 3. You know what I'm saying? For Beth, now I get it. From a gameplay perspective, Beth's like, I would have never done this if I was HOH. But you did do this several other times when you were HOH, Beth. What are you talking about? You put your ducks in a row when you were setting up Vic to go home? You did this exact very thing when you backdoored her. You were working alongside Rohan the entire time to get it done. If it wasn't for the double eviction and when Kiefer and Ty pulled Excalibur from the stone, Rohan would still be here because you wanted him still here. Let's keep it all the way funky. When you really look at it here, Beth has blew a 3-1 lead because from the moment jury started, Beth has had her way up until today. Let's be honest here. Beth has had her way from the moment jury started to right now. And this is the moment she's starting to lose control. And see, I thought coming into this HOH she was going to throw it. Turns out she was only going to throw it if Tina stayed. Because now with Kiefer stayed, she's going for it hard body because now she's nervous because she doesn't know what deal Kiefer made with Ty and Jed that didn't include her in the Expedia. So the paranoia kicks in. Now Beth is actually trying to win this comp, but she's not doing well because she's flustered and rattled. And that's why you start to see her curse out of her mouth. And there clearly was like an expletive. They were like blurring it out so you couldn't really read her lips. But my point is, and let's keep it all the way real in these streets, Tera damn near answered every question correct. It was giving me PTSD from Celebrity Big Brother US Season 1 with Marissa Jared Rigaker. If any of y'all watched my rants all the way back then, y'all are true OGs of the RBR family. But if y'all remember, I'm the one who first came up with that nickname for her because the way she won that season never sat right with me. It never sat right. She literally, at the end of the game, it was her versus, it was her and Ross Matthews that made the end versus each other, but she ended up beating Ross. But at the final stage, the final HOH or whatever, where you have to answer questions, she answered everything correct, similar to how Tera did. And I'd argue Tera is getting that type of preferential treatment from production in a similar fashion that Marissa is. Now, but to be fair here, Tera earned this. This is one of the reasons why I was very nervous about Tera. Because once you start to declare that the side that's been running the entire show is your enemy, you start to be looked at as the fan favorite. You start to be looked at as the underdog, and then you start to look like the Janelle going against the nerd herd in a sense, right? And I think Tera has figured out a way to commandeer some of that momentum, and I think she got fired up based off of the fact that Kiefer, he basically swore on his kids that he would never go after the trio before going after Tera or Breydon. This is another thing that rubbed Tera completely the wrong way. And because of that, I think Kiefer is vastly miscalculating his jury management here. See, Kiefer believes just because he pulled off this fantastic move of staying, and because he had a case to win before he pulled off this fantastic move, so he believes it compounds and it creates a scenario where he can't lose even if he makes it. But what Kiefer needs to be very careful of is how he treats people throughout the process of believing he's going to win regardless. Because, see, he's telling Tina and Tera, if I'm in final 2 with Ty, I wash him. Now, Tina and Tera aren't necessarily telling them that's not true. In my mind, I'm thinking, I don't know about that. Shout outs to Sandra Diaz-Twine. I don't know about that, Keith. But if you are hard body willing to go to the end with Ty, I'm all for it because I think that would be a dope final too. I think that would be up there with Dane and Anthony Douglas. That would be up there. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't be mad at that final two in any way, shape, or form, right? But I'm just so excited that he's still in the game. No disrespect to Tina, but Ty and Jed mentioned this several times this week. It's like, Tina, you never once stuck your neck out for us in this entire game. And the one opportunity you had to stick your neck out for Toya, you didn't do it either. Then, when they approached Tina and finally asked her about the Toya vote just to get some answers regarding what happened there, guess what Tina says? Oh, I didn't know what Latoya was going home until the last second because Tera was the swing vote the entire time. So you mean to tell me the one close ally you have, you couldn't sway to vote with the rest of your closest allies? Tina, you're telling them right there that was the moment you flipped because you prioritize not trying to piss Tera off compared to pissing off the Sunsetters. And yes, while some Tina fans will say, well, Dave, at least she never told Tera the name of the Sunsetters until the very last moment. At least she showed some loyalty to them by not just being loose lips sinking ships. You have a point there, but understand, if she would have told Tera that and if Tera would have brought it up, the whole house would have known it came from Tina. It's not as if Tina did it because she was that loyal. It was because she didn't really have a choice. And because Tina accidentally told Jed and Ty that she was in the Oddballs weeks ago, and for whatever reason, Jed and Ty forgot about that, and then they acted as if they didn't remember her flipping on them when she admitted that she was included in Oddballs, and then she began hanging around nothing but Oddballs. All right, I don't want to get too deep into that. But my point is, Coach, at the end of the day, Tina made a lot of mistakes. And her excuse for sending Toya home did not sit well with these brothers, and I think that gave them more reason to want to send her out that damn door. Because it's like, look, the minute Toya left, you didn't stick your neck out for us. You wouldn't even stick your neck out for her, and we could all make the case that you were much closer to Toya than you ever were to Ty and Jed. So at the end of the day, if you won't even stick your neck out for her, how are you going to stick your neck out for them? Especially heading into Final 6 when Tera is clearly your ride or die. There's not enough room for you to stick your neck out for them. You know? So, at the end of the day, I think this is why Tina got frustrated, because she never thought Beth would be down with a move that wouldn't help Beth's game, right? But now that Tera has won the HOH, you could argue it helps Beth's game. because I don't think Tera goes after Beth. I don't think Tera goes after Breydon. Um, so conventional wisdom would suggest she's gonna throw up most likely Kiefer next to Jed or Ty next to Jed. A variation of that. I wouldn't be shocked if it's just Kiefer and Jed because she doesn't like the whole story behind him swearing on his kids. I think that could be part of her storyline to throw up Kiefer and Jed. Plus, at the end of the day, if both of them in her mind beat her, but she thinks she might have a chance of beating Ty, I think it's smarter for a game to leave Ty off the block, at least initially. That way, she can keep the door ajar to work with Ty and possibly Breydon later down the road. Why not, right? And at the end of the day, the promise Kiefer made heavily implied he would target Bray and Tera. Tera has the built-in reasoning to throw Kiefer up before Ty here, and that's why, from a Ty fan perspective, I think Ty is sitting really nice because he's got Jed believing that Tera is acting weird because of Kiefer. On top of that, he has a final two with Kiefer. So if Ty is ever around Kiefer, he can just come up with the alibi that he's spying on Kiefer, trying to keep him away from Tera. And then Ty can work with Kiefer and Tera away from Jed and Beth's knowledge later down the line. So I look at this from the perspective that Ty has a lot of pivoting prowess here if he uses it correctly. And based off some of the things I've been seeing on feeds, he is picking up the pieces here. He was the most hurt and the most damaged by Kiefer's initial backdoor. Now I believe Ty is going to be the one who can pivot the hardest off of this, especially if he isn't an initial nominee here. That's a big key for him. If he's not an initial nominee, if he has the opportunity to win this video, take Jed off, and force Beth to be thrown up. But see, that's the thing. Would Tera throw up Breydon before Beth? Or would she view Breydon as alone and someone she can work with and automatically go for Beth? I think she has to throw a Beth. No matter how she feels about strong women, she has to know Beth is a number that is linked to the men. Regardless, the same thought process behind them evicting Tina last week has to be your thought process between cutting Beth before Breydon. In my opinion, it's got to be an eye for an eye, coach. So it's going to be very interesting how this game moves. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking myself into a lot of different paths that this game could go down. Tina didn't stick her neck out for Kiefer against Kyle and Rowe. That's true as well, Kingsley. And see, that's the thing, Tina. You kind of come off as kind of spineless in this game. And that's really the saddest part. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And if you're already not winning comps, and then on top of that, the only person you've ever stood up for was Tera when Vic was calling Tera out for Tera's moves, then that tells them everything they need to know. And on top of that, Tera blew up as much as she did. I mean, guilty by association there, Tina. You should have been telling Tera to calm herself down. And then once you realized you were going home, and see, here's another dumb move Beth made. Beth tried to be the first one to tell Tina she was going home, believing she could earn her jury vote by being the first one to tell her. The same way I believe Ty and Jed believe if they were the first one to tell Kiefer he was staying, they could earn some points with him over Beth. So Beth is trying to offset that and trying to damage control. So she goes up to Tina and tells her she's going home first. Tina ain't trying to hear that. She can't even believe that this is an option for Beth. She's like, are you serious? Honestly, Beth was better off blindsiding the chick, in my opinion. Because at least then, it's a mystery why you did it. And see, we didn't really even see goodbye messages tonight. I don't remember seeing... Well, maybe there was, but I wasn't paying attention. I was making the thumbnail. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, You were the weakest link within the Sunsetters, unfortunately. And that's why Sunsetters fans prioritized you leaving. Because I said this once, and I'll say it again, man. Look, everyone wants to win the game, but at a certain point, you got to prioritize who you're willing to lose to versus who you're not. I hate to see people become haters of people that they were best friends with and just try to, oh, you shouldn't have a shot at the money. Like, I hate to see that, especially when if it wasn't for all of y'all contributing as a team, there's no way y'all get it cracking. You know what I'm saying? There's no way y'all make it here. So it's good to see these three people sticking together, man. I was worried Kiefer would get marked. I was worried he was going to get marked, man. You know what I'm saying? Say what you want about Mark deserving that. Kiefer didn't. He didn't deserve that. Tina only grew a backbone around Tera, and see, that's the problem, That makes Tera even more of a threat there. Like, how are you putting a battery in her back? We can't. We're actually in an alliance with her since, like, day 2. It's crazy. Still do not think Tera will put up Beth. Yeah, I think, see, here's the thing. I think it will take a unique scenario for her to put up Beth. And I think Kiefer wants Beth gone too, right? And I think Kiefer will try to protect Ty above all else. So that's the thing. I think if Ty and Jed are on that block, I think Kiefer risks his game to take Ty off. And here's why I believe that. In his mind, he believes he can beat Ty before he can beat Jed. If he can guarantee Ty is safe, then he technically forces Tera in a position where you don't want to throw a pawn up next to Jed. You want to guarantee someone within that side goes home. If she's actually willing to risk Breydon get sent home, and see, here's the thing. This is why I believe that there's a chance Breydon could be sent home before. This is why I believe if she refuses to throw up Beth, Breydon could be sent home over Jed, because look at how the votes. If she doesn't throw up Beth, Beth has every incentive to not turn on Jed there, because that'll be a bitter juror. On top of that, Kiefer's off the block too. On top of that, Ty is off the block too. You mean to tell me, well, I guess you could argue Kiefer could use this moment to blindside Jed, keep Breydon, but does that help Kiefer reach the end? See, that's the thing. I think for Kiefer's game, in his mind, he has to keep Jed till Final Four. I think you got to get rid of some of this riffraff before then, or at least keep him till Final Five. And see, that's the problem with the fake double. You really do not want to be the one to betray somebody in this situation, because they'll come right back and you're screwed. You know, and that's the thing. No one's going to see this coming. And this is another reason why this fake double's interesting. But here's the thing. Could this fake double be here as a fail-safe plan to make sure Tera makes the end? Hear me out. Hear me out. She's the HOH this week. So conventional wisdom would suggest, oh, this fake double screws Tera over because whoever she's targeting could come back. But conversely, the double would mean that's her outgoing HOH where people could clap back at her. Isn't it a little convenient that she has a second chance to right her wrong if her HOH goes a certain way and it doesn't benefit her? You know, I just feel like the way this is set up is almost meant to make sure that Tera has more than one chance to get out one of the trio. That's what it looks like to me, at least. Now, maybe I'm just too much of a conspiracy theorist, all right? But we know who the favorite is right now. We know who the people's favorite is. I think the people's favorite right now is Kiefer from a grassroots perspective. I think the manufactured favorite, based off the edit with the casual fan, is probably Tera. And I think no one cares about Beth anymore. I think white folks is done with Beth too now. They're like, what is going on? She didn't even keep Tina. What is wrong with this woman? You know what I'm saying? So, hey, Kyle fans, Ro fans, Austin fans, Vic fans, all them oddball fans, y'all should be mad at Beth. Don't be mad at anyone else. This is all on Beth. Beth had all the power this week. She set it up to be that way, and she decided, nah, I ain't ready. I don't want to make an enemy out of Ty and Jed. I don't want that smoke. But she's also offended by the fact that Tina and Tera told her she's at the end with these same men that she cut Toya to have that pivoting prowess to be at the end with. Now she's offended by the fact that her game is perceived as her being carried. You wanted to be perceived as being carried because you wanted Ty and Jed to be targeted before you. Now all of a sudden, you want all the blood on your hands now. But you wanted to share the backdoor Vic with them. See, this is my problem. You got to take all the blood in the moment if you want all the glory. Otherwise, just calm it down. Just calm it down. You're just a revisionist historian that's butthurt about how things went at this point, because you should have saw this coming based off how you played. You feel it, dig me? I hope by some miracle Bray goes this week. And see, that's my thing. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, man. And see, that's the thing. I really want someone to go this week that is guaranteed that who gets evicted the next week after that during the double can wash that person and come back. Like, I'm just being honest. Now, if it happens to be Jed or Ty that gets evicted this week, then I'm going to change my tune, because I'm going to change my tune. But you get what I'm saying here. At the end of the day, Bray is the one by far left in this game that hasn't earned his spot. It is what it is. Okay, the guy follows these people around like a lost puppy. At this point, he's just Beth's +1. But if Bray was smart, this week, he should be throwing Beth under the bus too. No, he shouldn't be throwing Beth under the bus. This week, he should be throwing Kiefer and Jed under the bus. He should be protecting Ty. Honestly, I think anyone not named, everyone should be trying to throw Jed and Kiefer under the bus. Like, this is what Ty wanted Kiefer to stay for. Imagine if Kiefer was not here. It would be Ty and Jed, no brainer, throw away the key. But now you actually have to think about this, because if Tera goes about this week the wrong way, this will be her $100,000 regret move, because we know the fake double's coming. So whoever comes back, they're going to go after Tera hard body. They're not going to go, oh, well, well, she had to do what she had to do. No. They're going to want you sent to the Shadow Realm, coach, you know? And that's the thing, man. But I would love to see a scenario where Beth gets evicted, Tera follows her out during the double, and then Tera keeps Beth from coming back in. I know that's wishful thinking. Oh, man, that would be great TV, though. Oh, that'd be great TV. Okay, that'd be great TV. Like if Tera was like, I'm gonna backdoor Beth because this dumbass did not evict Kiefer. You know what? I'm doing this for Tina because she jumped off code. And then all of a sudden, Beth, by a vote of 2-0, you have been sent to the Shadow Realm. And then you just got Ty and Keith off the block, like, well, I guess it would be 3-0, huh? Yeah, it'd be 3-0. So by a vote of 3-0, Beth, you have been sent to the Shadow Realm. And then you just got Breydon, you got Kiefer. No, well, Breydon wouldn't vote her. I guess it would be 2-1 if Kiefer and Ty were to make that move. Because I believe Kiefer, if he would have won HOH, he was planning on getting rid of Beth. He was okay with taking that shot. Because they're realizing that Jed will never target Beth, but Beth will target Jed. And that's why Beth needs to go ASAP. You know? They are Carb fans. They are so hurt. You're right about that Block Star. They're super hurt. You know? But to be fair, we've all been Carb fans in other seasons. So I feel for y'all. I don't want to be that fan that y'all are in most seasons when our faves get sent home first. I want to be the bigger person and say, I know how it feels. Hopefully next time around when roles are flipped, y'all remember me being this humble in victory. I'm just keeping it real, man. Yeah, Beth got to go 100% Moses. Let's get it cracking. You know what I'm saying? Whitney says, Ty will take Jed off. And that's the thing, man. That's why, in my opinion, the best scenario is for Keith and Jed to go up. Ty uses the veto on one of them, and then it forces Tera to throw Beth there. That's the best scenario, because then it's Ty and whoever he trusts the most having the majority vote to send Beth out the door. I would love to see Ty and Jed both send Beth home. Oh my. Oh man, to see both of these dudes trade in a simp card and get a red pill card, that would be amazing, But once again, I'm asking for a lot here. And also, that ball pit could have a twist coming up too. You never know. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the thing. Like, is this ball pit really just there to be a ball pit all season? Like, at a certain point, I feel like they're going to do something with that, right? Only time will tell, I guess. Or maybe that's going to be the area where the fake battle back happens. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what are they going to do there, And how are they going to have a battle back without anyone knowing there's a battle back happening? BBCAN's a little bit different than BBUS. Wouldn't they hear that? Or maybe they'll get to watch it. That'll be interesting. Kingsley says, I think she puts up Ty and Jed. Go for Jed. Beth would pivot for a Tera Bray alliance. Yeah, that is the most likely scenario. But I think that is the most likely. I mean, you got to take a shot at Ty and Jed. These guys have never been on slop. These guys have never been on the block. You got to take this shot now or never, right? If you don't take it now and then Ty takes Jed off the block, you're going to look really stupid. She pretty much has to, right? And I guess Kiefer would be the replacement nom. Yeah, I guess that is the best way for her to ensure that Ty and Jed and Keith can't all be on the same team this week. But then again, once again, if Kiefer wins the veto, that man got a lot of power in his hands there. Does he just keep Ty and Jed right there after what they did for him this past week? Or does he use it because he feels like he has to? Plus, that goes on his resume for using it. I don't know there. See, that's the tough part of it all, right? There's a lot of different ways this game can go. I think for Kiefer's game, it might not make sense to use the veto in that situation. It might make more sense to just leave noms the same. But what does he lose from using it, though? He doesn't have a Tina anymore, and Tera wouldn't throw up Tina anyway. Who is he fearing touching the block if he uses it? Like, wouldn't he want the chance to guarantee Final Five for him, Ty, and Jed? He has to know this is too early, just like they knew it was a week ago. But then again, Keith has been saying on feeds that he's willing to make a big move this week. If he gets the opportunity to win that veto, he just might not use it. I know I'm all over the place, y'all, but, this is the thing. This is what's so great about the late game, right? Everyone's agenda begins to clash. Keith pushing Jed and Beth up. Okay, Keith, you on code with Ty still. I like to see that, Keith. Good stuff, Keith. Tera said she wants to save Ty and Bray. Oh, see, Tera, there's a reason why I wanted you in that Final Four. Let's get it, Ty. NyQuil Ty, putting them to sleep one Thursday at a time. You feel it? Dig me, coach. You know, they was calling him Ty $sign earlier. And Keith, during tonight's episode, called himself the Grim Reaper. I'm like, where are all these nicknames come? They think they me now? I like it, though. I like the nicknames, coach. I mean, come on, man. Look at Sir Anthony Douglas, man. He got as many nicknames as me, too, man. Nothing wrong with having nicknames, man. Everybody got an alter ego. I feel like Jed and Ty will be the nominees. Okay. Tera is going to target Jed and Beth. Solid gameplay there. Because Beth is the reason Tina's gone. And I guess Jed is too, you know what I'm saying? And they reneged hard on that Kiefer move. Let's keep it a bean. And hopefully Tera uses some of that information Kiefer told her to try to establish some type of communication with Breydon, possibly also with Tychon. I mean, there's a lot of different ways this game can go down. I'm so excited, man. See, that fake double got me thinking. It's like, you know, you did it to us again, Orisa. You did it to us again. I swear if Breydon wins while being a pawn floater, that would be crazy if Breydon chose now to win the veto and Ty and Jed on the block. But then again, what if Breydon were to win the veto with Beth and Jed on the block and he saves Beth? Oh my God. Would that be Breydon's move to deserve to win? Would that be the move? The move that guarantees Kiefer or Jed goes home? Wow. There's an argument to be had there. I'm trying to give everyone equal opportunity here to be a legend. You feel it, dig me? He don't give no about Beth and Bray. He absolutely will take one down if he wins. Okay, that's what's up. Tera trying to get in that Final Four at least. And see, that's the thing, Tera. You got to make it out of next week. Don't do too much this week. No one will be mad if Beth goes home, Tera. Yeah, no one will be mad, contrary to popular belief. If you target Jed and Beth, and we vote to keep Jed with the votes, okay, Tera, trust me, the black community, we might not invite you to the cookout, but we'll ship you a plate via Amazon Prime. You feel it, dig me? I'm just saying what it is. Get Beth sent to the Shadow Realm, all right? It's going to be a paper plate. Might be a little soggy, but you get my point. You know, I'm just saying. Keith's big mood is Beth. I'm saying Keith wants that smoke, Zion. You see what I'm saying? He wants the smoke with, because he knows last week was all Beth's move. It was Beth's move going wrong. You know what I'm saying? And luckily, Kiefer was able to be the Morpheus to show Jed the Matrix, so Jed would realize he has a choice here. Pick that red pill, coach. It's going to be okay. I'm just being honest in these streets, man. Sheesh, man. You know what I'm saying? If Jed be acting like Keanu Reeves out here, bruh. Like it's gonna be okay, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, bro. Don't forget to hit the like button for me. Thank you, Ghost. Shout outs to Ghost, man. You in the building. Granted, Dave, Beth has more stupid than Frank, because Frank had less pivoting prowess. Yeah, you got a point there as well. You know, Frank has always been kind of, a little bit of a, what do they call you? A muscle brain? What do they call you when you're muscle bound, but you're not really the smartest under pressure? He's one of those guys. And of course, his father was Psycho Sid. So he had a lot of tools to be very good at winning comps, but from a social strategic standpoint, that was always one of his biggest hurdles. Oh, shout outs to Dante Sigler, who comes through with the super chat saying, it's no way Jed and Beth stay together after the game. If she go home first, she would blame Jed for ruining her game. You're absolutely right, Dante. You know what I'm saying? You're absolutely right. She cannot wait to try to poison that jury house if she gets in there before Ty and Jed. I wouldn't be surprised if Beth becomes the reverse Kiefer. You know how Kiefer said if anyone not in the trio sitting next to the trio, they get his vote. I wouldn't be shocked if Beth becomes that in the jury house. Super bitter, and you got Vic like sipping tea like, oh, you acting like you have a right to be mad after what you just did to me, Beth? And see, that's the thing. Everyone, the sooner we get Beth in that jury house to have the cross paths with Vic, ladies and gentlemen, that's pay-per-view right there. They need to be setting up the celebrity boxing match. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? It's going down. You know, I could be the special guest referee. You know what I'm saying? It's lit in these streets. You know, Whitney says, Ty telling Jed and Beth that Keith doesn't trust the Sunsetters like he once did. He's being real vague because Keith talking about Beth. Oh, yeah, Steve. Jed's family does not like Beth, and rightfully so. You know, if you've seen some of the sound bites that have come out of her mouth unnecessarily, you know, it's like she does things to appease other people that she views as being higher up the social status as they are in some weird way. She always valued Breydon and Austin's approval than these two men. She just knew these two men could get her further in the game from a shield standpoint than those two could. So she tried to have the best of both worlds. And ever since Austin has been evicted, she's tried to replace that late game final five strategy with someone else. And then Rohan left, replace him with Kiefer. And then she tries to blindside Kiefer. And then, you know, all this other stuff. So, yeah, for Kiefer's game, 100%. I think he knows that Breydon is really his biggest threat to getting where he needs to be. I think Kiefer knows that Tera probably takes him to Final Five. I think he knows that Jed takes him probably to Final Five. I think he knows that Ty would take him probably to Final Five. I think he knows that Bray is the person that's fighting for him for that same spot. Some could argue that maybe Tera's fighting with Keith for that spot too at this point, especially after this HOH, in which it feels like Keith could very well be the backdoor option here. You never know. So, Ty needs to stop listening to Jed and Beth. They are ruining his game, not theirs. You have a point there, A-Tourist, but based off some of the things I've been seeing on feeds, Ty is actually beginning to play both of them, right? He's got Jed believing that Tera is making all of her moves listening to Kiefer, which pretty much blames Tera's HOH on Kiefer. So if Jed and Beth are nominated by Tera, guess what? Jed is going to blame Kiefer, and he's not going to think Ty had anything to do with this move, when in reality, the only reason why he links the move to Kiefer is because of Ty. Ty is doing everything he can to make sure everyone points their lasers at each other and not him. You feel it, dig me? He on the Mission Impossible. Dun, 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 dun. He on the Metal Gear Solid side of the game, man. He Snake Plissken, bro. He looking like Raiden in the cut. Seriously. Like NyQuil Ty, he wants all the smoke. And if you pay attention to tonight, isn't he getting a lot more confessionals? Isn't he being allowed to host more things? Isn't he just doing more? And I thought the conversation he had with Breydon was very wholesome. But of course, the BMX live chat absolutely hated it. I mean, I've never seen a live chat so salty. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, bro. Like, it's just one segment. You know what I'm saying? Like, calm down. Meanwhile, they'll see Kyle and Austin, you know, trip and fall around trying to flirt with each other, and they'll go, so cute. It's like, hey, man, look, hey, what I eat don't make you ish. But with that said, I mean, how do you like that? But then you act like real conversations like this, especially when they're kind of relevant to society right now in real world, all of a sudden, that's not what you want to hear, but you want to see this nonsense coming from Kyle every 2 seconds. I don't get it. I really don't get it, right? You know, the same people that's okay with Kyle and Roe attempting to bully Keith are the same people saying Keith doesn't have a right to have confidence. It's like, what are we doing here? And see, I've been talking about this from the beginning. You know, I've been doing rants now for almost, 5 years now? I've been saying for the longest that whenever it's a person of color and they have confidence, it's always labeled as cocky regardless. If it is a white counterpart who is just as confident, people say, "Oh no, this is what makes him legendary. This is what's part of his. This is what's part of his aura." Like they whisper sweet nothings about the person. A lot of ways, the NFL draft, the scouting with black quarterbacks is very similar, right? You see a guy that played at Ohio State, the kid, Justin Fields, got talent out of this world. He was supposed to be the second pick. Somewhere along the way, now he may not even be the third pick. Now they're trying to nitpick everything. Oh, his mechanics, his blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden, just being a great player isn't good enough anymore. And that's the problem with Big Brother. You know, the same people who told us for the longest, don't focus on race, focus on the gameplay, are the same ones saying the gameplay doesn't matter. Because their feelings do. But then for the longest, when we try to prioritize the feelings, they tell us to get over it, focus on the gameplay. All we're saying is, be consistent. Because now we sound more like you and you sound more like us, and it feels like opposite world. I'm just keeping it real in these streets. You know what I'm saying? Now, I will say this, though. It is a shame that there was only one straight white man on this season, but we got 3 white women. I will say that, though. I'll be fair there. I believe there should have been someone else other than Kyle on this season. But welcome to our world of seeing only one straight black man on a season having to fend for himself and being a pre-jury boot. It's kind of hard when you're just outnumbered, isn't it? That's what we've been trying to convey this entire time. I think Beth will be bitter if she's on the jury and blame Jed for ruining her game, just like Corey did with Anthony. Bingo. I still don't understand what Corey was really mad about. Anthony didn't do anything. Anthony almost fought with Adam Pike over that twist. And Corey is over here mad at Anthony. Like, if only they would have showed her the clip of when he almost fought with Adam over that. Because he was like, hey, man, explain this to me. Adam walked up to him. He was like, man, hey, man, we good, bro. He just hugged him, and it was over after that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it was the principle of it, because in his mind, he's like, what is going on? Right? Because that twist kind of hurt Anthony's jury management a lot. And one could argue he evicted Adam over Dane in revenge for what he did to Corey. It kind of came back to haunt Adam in a slick way. But that's why I always tell people, man, and don't even get me started on the blood power veto. And see, that's another reason why I got to give production credit for this season. Look, we may not have liked all of these twists as much as we could have liked them. There hasn't been that many twists. But let's just admit that these twists haven't been overbearing, right? They haven't been so many. Like, I feel like BB20 had like 20 twists. You know, like, I forgot how many twists. They had the cloud twist, which was so overpowered. You know, they basically turned Tyler into Lifeguard Jesus with that twist. You know what I'm saying? So I like the fact that they're becoming a little bit more old school, a little bit more pragmatic, and they're letting the gameplay and the cream rise to the top more, you know. And I believe if there was more twists, if there was more ways to play more cowardice, someone like Kiefer wouldn't be in Final Six. And I'm rhyming on accident because I'm that dude. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying what it is. AD, facts, no politics, but can drag Arissa's looking hair tonight. Kyle has done nothing, yet I didn't know they was dragging Arissa. I hate to hear stuff like that. Arissa, you look fine. Rod says Kyle literally did nothing in this game and was cocky, but nobody cried foul. 1-0. On his way out, he wore a veto as if it was a damn 10-17 brick squad chain. Hold up, do we got to bring that photo up again to remind people how embarrassing this was? Do we got to do this for the Kyle fans that forgot how embarrassing this was? Do I got to do it? Because I feel like Kyle fans forgot the timeline. They forgot this dude out here taking pictures with people like he just he just visited his favorite player or something. You know what I'm saying? It was as if he wasn't playing amongst these people anymore. The way he just took a picture with this veto. Like, come on, B. Don't make me show this picture again. I think I got it now. Don't make me do it now. This is embarrassing, Coach. Do I still got it? I might not. Maybe I'm capping. Did I delete it? I probably did. Did I delete it? Okay, I deleted it. Never mind. I don't got it. Oh, Kyle fans, y'all lucky tonight. I almost had that picture again. That was an embarrassing one, boy. That was embarrassing. You know, and that was almost as embarrassing as Death Row rocking Swaggy's clothing and then trying to diss him. Exposed. But anyway, caught a stray. Oh man, I'm on my A game tonight. A Tourist says, I think the difference between Kyle is his personality is very much Kyle. He literally acts like all the Kyles I know. Well, I know black Kyles, but you get the point. Yeah, I get what you're saying, A Tourist. That team twist was a flop, but it didn't last very long. And that's the reason why I don't consider it that much of a flop. Because I feel like if the team twist didn't exist, Kiefer never becomes who he becomes. Kiefer never has 1 week of safety to gain some footing. And keep in mind, he was still a pawn after that, meaning he would have been on the block the first week anyway, right? So the captain's twist is the only reason why Kiefer became a legend. Let's be real. And I know there's going to be some Kiefer haters that use that. Oh, well, Dave even said it. Wait a minute. Doesn't this take away from his greatness? Hey, Paul Bieda had 4 weeks of safety in BB19. He still made the end. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look. At the end of the day, you don't know what type of game that you'll be handed, but you got to do the best of what you're given and say whatever you can about Kiefer. Kiefer has made wine out of tap water this whole season, you know. And I'm happy he's doing what he can to protect Ty this week. And it makes sense for his game because he believes he can beat Ty. He's not sure he can beat Jed. Everything adds up. You feel it, dig me, coach? Arissa dressed like she was going to quinceañera. Yeah, see, hey, you know what I'm saying? I took Spanish. I can pronounce that, coach. We getting it. You know what I'm saying? The twists haven't been overbearing this season. I feel like they have been pretty evenly distributed so far. I agree 100%. Do I believe that the comps could have possibly been a little bit better? I mean, it's hard to judge, man. You know, when you're still in the midst of a lockdown, this is the comeback season after what happened with BBCAN9. I'm not really in the position to complain about anything. I'm thankful and I'm grateful for the fact that they were able to come back in these circumstances and provide some entertainment. I mean, all of this is basically just providing a sort of distraction for us to enjoy something. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, that's what it's all about. And that's what really matters. But yeah, with Tera as HOH, ladies and gentlemen, I guess I should go ahead and give you all the power rankings on my way out here. I had Tera in my top 5 before she won this HOH. I got to keep it all the way a bean with y'all. Kiefer's still first. Tera's second. Ty is third. Jed comes into 4th after keeping Keith. That was solid gameplay. And honestly, I gotta say Beth is 5th. Bray, you haven't done anything, bro. I don't care how I feel about Beth. Like, Bray, what game are you playing? I don't know. Now, maybe this is the week for him to finally start showing his true colors now that someone other than the trio has power and stuff like that. So, Bray, this will be the week where I'm expecting something out of you. All right? If you don't provide much for us this week, then I'm just going to keep it real, man. You just ain't that good. It is what it is. But, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the 22nd rant of the challenge, I'll say the challenge, my fault, of Big Brother Canada 9 entitled Your Family Bro. It is so dope to see these two brothers fully embrace Kiefer, both physically and emotionally, as a member of their family, because this Sunsetters Alliance, in my opinion, is a true family. The way Latoya is still has the fan base excited and interesting in what she has and what she's hosting and what she's live streaming and stuff, that's dope as well. Like, I haven't really seen someone who was booted pre-jury have so many fans still rocking with them, especially their first season as a pre-jury boot. Sometimes you return and you're a vet, you're a pre-jury boot, of course you're gonna have a fan base, but what Latoya is managing to do, this is truly another example of how when we all stay on code, we can change the narrative of our faves. We can change them ourselves. We don't need to wait for them to create the history books to give them their narrative. We can give them their roses now, and that's what I'm attempting to do this season full of rants. So, ladies and gentlemen, please do not forget to like this video, comment underneath it, and, of course, share it with all the fans of Big Brother Canada 9 that you rock with, Coach. I'm Dave Smith with Recency Bias Radio, where no one is safe from criticism. Until next time, the Stones, they have a mind of their own. Don't make me snap, or you'll disappear like Beth's win conditions. You know what, before I leave, you know what? Let's just laugh at Beth's game real quick, y'all. Why not? We don't know what you're thinking, and neither does Tim.